I'd like you to imagine for a minute that your tap water only runs 4 hours a day, that it's yellow and smells of sulfur, and that your economic situation is so precarious that every few days you have to resort to drinking this water. So much so that you risk life-threatening diseases such as cholera and hepatitis A. This is what Louisa and her family face every day. And she's not alone. There are 2.1 billion people who drink contaminated water globally. And this is particularly a problem in megacities. Louisa and her family here live in Ciudad Neza, a slum on the outskirts of Mexico City where sewage has leaked into the water network. And so Louisa therefore buys water that is purified locally by unregulated businesses that taste of chlorine and that bloats you. Now, the 2.1 billion people like Louisa are not destitute and so present an immense market opportunity. Louisa is part of the huge and growing category of working poor who earn $2 to $10 a day and collectively spend $20 billion on water annually. And while the products of the likes of Nestle and Danone might be out of reach for these consumers, their marketing dollars ensures that the Louisas of the world are well aware of the importance of safe drinking water in their daily lives. My name is Charles Koshandabili. I'm head of business development at Folia Water. And I want to introduce you to the new revolutionary product that will help solve the issue of safe drinking water for the Louisas around the world. At Folia Water, we've invented the first filter that costs pennies and not dollars. It's a simple filter that for 20 cents purifies 20 liters, providing a 90% savings from bottled water products. Our innovation was invented by Dr. Terry Dankovich as part of a PhD at McGill University, where she designed a nano-silver-infused paper water filter. The silver in this simple piece of paper kills bacteria and viruses, while the pore size physically screens out parasites and dirt to meet WHO standards for safe drinking water. Our goal, simply put, is to be the next $1 billion health staple in corner grocery stores across the emerging markets, such as Unilever's Lifebuoy product. This reach is important so that Louisa has access to our product within walking distance of our home, and our strategy to do so is to sell through mass market consumer good firms. By selling to the likes of Unilever, we leverage an existing retail distribution, marketing, and sales network. Unilever has access to, on average, 100,000 stores per country. Each of these stores reach 100 households, giving us a potential market of 10 million households, each spending $10 a year on Folia filters. And our unit economics are very simple. Our manufacturing costs are 1.5 cents per filter because we patented a process to have the most efficient production possible. Our wholesale price is 8 cents, and with an expected retail price of 20 cents, we're at the same price point as any other snack or simple standard grocery store item. In 2018, we received $400,000 from Unilever to conduct a sales pilot in Dhaka, Bangladesh. We're currently working in Mexico City to adapt our product to the consumer kitchen journey, and in 2020, we'll be expanding to Jakarta, Indonesia. I've seen firsthand how our product can change lives, and the MBR prize will allow us to reach 10,000 households in each of these markets, which we consider to be the crucial threshold to prove to mass market consumer good firms that we have the right product. At this point, we can scale Folia Water to be the next billion-dollar health staple across emerging markets, so that the Louisas across megacities in the world have access to safe drinking water at an affordable price. Thank you.
So Charles, if you win the prize, what would you do with the money?
So, as described, ultimately the big picture goal is to, ultimately we want to be a materials company selling to mass market consumer good firms and have them handle the importation, the distribution, and so on. The step prior to that is really working on the ground, and this is what we need the money for. And this is what I'm personally involved with in Mexico City, and that we're building a team to do the same in Bangladesh. And it's what hundreds of other mass market consumer good companies have done. And that involves direct consumer engagement, so working with the consumers through focus groups, through household visits, to understand what their needs are, how our product needs to be adapted to their cultural habits, how our marketing needs to, how we should define our marketing strategy to earn their trust. That's one side, product design and marketing. Another in the field work that we need to do is door-to-door activation, demonstration, so sampling the product in markets. It's a lot of field work. And this will allow us to actually grow to the 10,000 threshold that we believe really proves demand. 10,000 households, so that's 40,000 plus people. And so that involves a lot of hiring on the ground in those countries. And we need to build the teams, not only in those countries, but also in the headquarters to hire a design engineer and the staff to be able to actually take the learnings from the field and implement it in terms of the product design or in terms of the marketing strategy.
Thank you very much. So just building on that question, so how is that different from the work that you've been doing with Unilever and the like in terms of the pilot studies?
So in terms of piloting, Unilever a lot of that money we have for Unilever is being applied for Bangladesh for that purpose. What it's not going to is the stuff we need in the lab in New York, in terms of the R&D, in terms of hiring a design engineer to implement the learnings we get from the field. And what it's not, of course, it's specific to Bangladesh, and it's not money we can allocate to other markets, such as Indonesia and such as Mexico, where we see big opportunities in those markets, and where we're already talking to and have good relationships with very strong potential partners that we consider to be crucial to actually entering these markets. There's a trust issue, and the companies we're working with add a huge reason to believe. And so we want to be opportunistic in Mexico and in Indonesia.
Hi. So I have a question, a very high-level question on sustainability. So how does your company or how does your technology align with the UN 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, especially Goal 6 related to clean water and sanitation?
Well, the technology itself purifies water, kills bacteria and viruses. And so, at a deeper level, or what? How do you mean? Sorry.
Yeah, I guess what motivates your company in terms of is it for kind of realizing these global challenges, or is it more from more commercial motivation, or what motivates you and your company?
It's a bit of both. We look at other mass market consumer goods products, such as soaps, such as shampoos, which are now a common product to be bought within our target market in the sachet form. And the product that's missing within that selection is a product to purify water. And we have the product at the correct price point, and we believe it should be universally, it should be sold in wherever it's needed, so that people of that segment have the agency to their own safe drinking water. And through that, like other mass market consumer good firms, we believe that it's for profit and there's a commercial reason to do it as well. But we definitely see a huge need to have an affordable water purifier that can give these consumers access to safe drinking water.
I was just wondering, Charles, and we went through this morning, but do we need something else with the filter, like the coffee filter? Does the buyer need anything else, like the?
The tech itself is sufficient. Now it's really down to the product design. And we have 2 different product designs that can be adapted to the habits of the household. One is the coffee funnel that's to be used with a 2-liter water bottle, and the other, which is more adapted to markets such as Mexico, is a cartridge that fits into the neck of a 20-liter jug. But in terms of the innovation and the tech, it's functional and it's proven to be.
And how long the filter lasts?
20 liters.
20 liters.
Yeah.
Okay.